all know that the Matt Eberflus era is coming to an end. The Chicago Bears head coach is 14-29 over the last 2.5 seasons, along with 3 different offensive coordinators, firing 8 total assistants in a bottom 5 offense every single year. Not only that, he's been giving 2 starting quarterbacks, and it just hasn't worked out. And there is rumors that the Bears are now linked to a former Super Bowl champion head coach in Jon Gruden of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Raiders. He might be coming to Chicago next year. He wants to be a head coach, and rumors are starting to fly. I'm going to break it all down for you guys, what Gruden could bring to the table. But hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Rody, and as always, thank you for tuning in. And before I begin today's show, hit that like button if you want Jon Gruden to be the Bears' next head coach, along with commenting yes or no and your reasoning for why. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're 30 away from 20,000, and we're giving away an autographed Caleb Williams football. All you need to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, let's get into the history of Jon Gruden. Chucky, one of the craziest head coaches you've seen over the last decades, but he does know how to win a lot of ball games. He's been the Raiders head coach twice, once with the Buccaneers, and during his time, 18 total years of coaching. He was the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles before becoming a head coach, and he had a top 5 offense in 2 of the 3 years while he was there. As a head coach, he has a 117-112 record, 5-5 in the playoffs, including a Super Bowl win. This is what folks remember him for, because he had great success as a head coach with the Buccaneers, winning a Super Bowl. He was the Bucs head coach for 7 total seasons, having a 57-55 record, 4 seasons with 9 or more wins, 2 seasons with 11 or more wins, a 3-2 playoff record, and Super Bowl champions back in 2002, which that was one of the best defensive units in NFL history. You can't tell me twice. I know the Bears have the greatest, but that 2002 Buccaneers defense was insane. He also is a just overall solid head coach. Years of bad rosters, walked into rebuild, and he still made it work and found ways to win. He also has been the Raiders head coach during his career, his most recent team. He's been their head coach twice, back in the late 90s and then recently a few years back. He has a total of a 60-57 career record with them, a winning record, but not a big one, but still a winning record. He has 6 of his 8 seasons as the Raiders head coach where he's won 8 or more games, 3 of them being 10 or more. He's led the Raiders to the playoffs 3 times in his 8 seasons as head coach. And also, he got to the second round 2 of the 3 times in the playoffs. So he's a playoff winning head coach as well on 2 different teams in 2 separate conferences. This guy just knows how to win football games. And it gets even better when you look at his balance as a head coach. Some head coaches we've been worried about, we need an offensive-minded one. We need a defensive-minded one. Well, this guy can do it all. In his 18-year career as a head coach, his offense has been top 15, 14 of the 18 years, top 10, 8 of those 18 years, and top 5, 3 of those 18 years. And you're probably like, 3 of 18. But those are top 5. He was top 10 nearly half the time. Those are some amazing numbers too. And the Bears haven't even broken top 25 in the last 6 seasons, guys. He did that 14 of his 18 seasons, and 4 of them were all rebuilding years when he had top bottom offenses, and they weren't off by much. 2 of those 4 missed years were both at 17, so wasn't too bad. Still better than what the Bears have right now. But he is just a very good offensive-minded guy, clearly works with many different quarterbacks and has made them work. Not only that, too, his defenses were incredible as well. A true balance as a head coach. Top 15, 12 of 18 years. Top 10, 10 of 18 years, which is very impressive. And he had top 5 defenses, what the Chicago Bears and Bears fans know. 8 of his 18 years as a head coach. Insanely impressive. Clearly, this guy has the ability to hire solid coordinators and lead on both offense and defense. He's had 4 coordinators on top of that, too, become head coaches. And my biggest point of the way is that he's always at least in the middle of the pack every single season, it feels like. So what's not to like about him? Well, I'm going to break that down a little bit more because there is some big red flags with Jon Gruden that I want to bring in and maybe pump the brakes a little bit before we get him. But before I do so, I would like to thank today's sponsor, OddsJam. OddsJam just isn't another betting app. It's turning the entire system in your favor. Here's how it works. OddsJam uses a strategy called arbitrage, which finding odd differences across many different playbooks. You get to bet on both sides, no matter the outcome, you will profit. Here's an example. If you put $500 on Boise State to win FanDuel and if $355 for their opponent, San Francisco, on DraftKings, you're guaranteed to make $50 win or lose. With OddsJam's simple mobile app, you get real-time alerts of these opportunities, and get it today. Go to the link in the description now and use code JAYCHI Bears to get 35% off your first payment along with a 7-day free trial if you don't like it. I guarantee you'll profit during this trial, and if you don't, cancel in one click, no questions asked. JAYCHI Bears in the link in the description now to go win some money today. All right, so let's get into some of the big red flags about Jon Gruden. Well, he was fired by the Raiders a few years back after audio and reports broke out to the public of him making homophobic slurs and other inappropriate claims towards other people. He called Roger Goodell a not nice word. I won't say it on the show because it's pretty aggressive, along with making remarks towards the Rams when they drafted Michael Sam in 2014, one of the first openly gay players in the NFL. He made some remarks towards Jeff Fisher, former Rams coach, current at the time. His actions have got him canned, which aren't good and will follow him forever. Guys in the locker room might not respect him for that. Players might not want to play for him. It might lead to trades. It might lead to another rebuild. Not saying Gruden can't do that, but also that's another problem too. Gruden likes to be in control of his teams, and he has been the general manager before as a head coach practically. Not a good situation for him as a whole because it leads to turmoil. He's an alpha mentality. Ryan Poles might not like that if Ryan Poles is even here next year. But there's a lot going on there. Also, a lot of players don't like that tough mentality playing anymore for head coaches. And Gruden definitely brings that. We know him to be an aggressive guy on the field. He's made things like, are you out of your mind? Are you out of your skull? He's sworn at players. He's very aggressive, and with how today's players are, it might not work out in his favor. Something to consider. I'm not saying that that's the end-all, be-all. These guys are football guys. They want to be accountable. They want to get coached, but got to be careful a little bit on this one. Just want to put that out there. And before I close out today's show, I would like to go into Fantasy on the Fly with our good friend, Dan Richmond.
Hello and welcome to Fantasy on the Fly. Bears-Packers this weekend. Bears, new offensive coordinator, different results. One can only hope. Bears, from a fantasy perspective, a guy who I think has a shot to be real successful this weekend is DJ Moore. Reason being, I think DJ has a bit of a chip on his shoulder over his performance and the teams over the last few weeks. And more importantly, the Packers give up over 200 yards in the air. I like DJ Moore this weekend against the Packers. Another guy who came back from a horrible injury and is playing very well for the Minnesota Vikings is TJ Hockenson. Last week, Hockenson, 8 catches and over 70 yards receiving in his second game back. The Titans, real good against defending the tight ends. Yes, but statistics are deceiving. The last 3 weeks, the Titans have averaged 5 catches for a tight end, and each tight end has scored a touchdown. I love TJ Hockenson this weekend, and this is Fantasy on the Fly.
But guys, would you bring in Jon Gruden now? I want to see what your guys' thoughts are. Probably in the beginning of the video, you guys, a lot of you said yes or a lot of you said no, and your thoughts could have changed as time went on, but I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Double comment. Let's hear what you guys have to say. But guys, hope you have a great weekend coming up here. Please be safe. We got Bears versus Packers. And one last time, folks, Bears versus Packers watch party at Rizzo's Bar and Inn this Sunday, noon kickoff. Doors open at 10:30. We got wing basket specials, freshie bucket specials, and Authentico margarita specials. Make sure you come and get yours today. Free ticket in the link in the description now. We got over 150 people coming right now. Our goal is 400. We would love to see you guys there. But with that, thank you as always for today's episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody. And as always, bear down, baby.